Hi friends, welcome to my channel. A very warm welcome. Welcome to the crochet classes. Okay, so this is the single crochet we are going to do. Okay, today we are going to learn the basics of single crochet. Very detailed information about how to do the single crochet, how to count the rows and each and everything. So I hope you have fun, and learning single crochet today makes your crochet journey easy. Okay, so for making this, I'm going to use this yarn, okay, hobby store from a DK yarn, a 3 lightweight yarn. Hook size recommended 4.5. So if you don't have this yarn, you can use any yarn whichever is either 3 or more than 3, okay, for learning purpose. That's good. And then you are going to use the recommended hook, okay, the recommended hook size for the yarn. Okay, so this is the yarn I'm going to use. The name is Candy Floss. Okay, so you can use any hook, and you can use any yarn and the recommended hook. So the recommended hook is 4.5 mm. I'm using that. Okay, you will need a yarn needle. Okay, a needle with a big hole so that the yarn can pass through it very nicely and easily, and we'll need some scissors to cut the yarn. That's all. Okay, so with the strings ready, let's get into the detailed information about single crochet. So we are going to start by making a slip knot. Okay, just make it across like this, your finger, hold it, and then go on top of this, pull it through. Okay, and a clear instruction is about how to make a slip knot and chain is there on my channel. Okay, so you can go ahead and check it out if you want any instructions. Okay, so then we are going to start by chaining 20. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, so this is the chain 20. So whenever we are asked for chaining, we chain the number of chains, and then we add one chain if we are using single crochet, or the pattern says how many chain you need for turning. Okay, so then now after 20 chains we did the chain 1. That is going to be for turning. We need something to turn. If we don't have the chain 1, it will be too tight for us to work in this next stitch. Okay, so we skip that stitch and go into the next one so that we can easily work our hook. Okay, turn our hook and go to the next one. Okay, so we are going to work single crochet. So these are the loops. So we are going to take only the top loop of the chain, the up top loop of the chain. Okay, while I'm going in the chain, I'm inserting my hook in the chain. I'm holding this loop with my thumb. Okay, just so that it doesn't get cinched and get tight on the hook. So I want to lose tension, so I just keep my finger on the loop which is on the hook. Then the hook is moving, okay, only the loop I'm holding. Yeah, see, now we go in the second chain from the hook. So this is the first chain we did extra. Okay, now in the second chain from the hook, insert the hook in the first loop, wrap the yarn for the hook and pull. So while wrapping, my hook point is facing upward, and when I grab the yarn, I just turn it downwards and then I pull it through that for the loop which we had. Okay, now I got 2 loops on the hook. Then again yarn over the hook, turn the hook downwards, pull it through both the loops, and that's the single crochet. Again we are left with 1 loop. Hold it with your thumb, find the next chain here. Okay, the next 1 loop of the chain. If you run your thumb on the chain, you can feel the chain. Okay, so go inside that, grab the yarn, turn the hook, pull it through the loop, and we have 2 loops on the hook now. And now we can finish our single crochet. How? Wrap the yarn, turn the hook, pull it through both the loops, and that's our second single crochet. So this is the first single crochet here, and that's the second. Okay, so in this way we are going to go and make all the single crochet. So you should have 20 single crochet because we had 20 chain, so we'll have 20 single crochet. Now maybe while pulling, so it's better to hold your work like this when you're going through both the loops. Okay, try to hold your work with your thumb and your forefinger or middle finger like this. Okay, so use your fingers and don't worry if it becomes difficult. Gradually and eventually it will become easy. Sorry. So we just go inside the loop, grab, turn, pull it through and pull through. You see I'm holding my work with the fingers here. Okay, so it gives me a good idea how the tension works. Okay, so grab, pull through and pull through. Okay, so let's continue and finish our 20 single crochet. So here I have worked my last single crochet in the last chain here. Okay, so now this chain is worked. Now we have finished our 1 row of single crochet. And you can count by counting. There are 2 ways for counting. One way is you count the top V's of the stitches here. The V you can see, okay, this V. Let me see if it can focus. Okay, here. So this one is one single crochet, the next, and this the way you can see the single crochet. Another way is here at the down. So this is the first single crochet, this is the next. So you can count. If you pull apart and see, then you can see the single crochet here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and this is the last one, 20. Okay, now we'll go for the next step. Now always whenever we have to turn our rows, okay, so working back, working this side and then coming back and forth, back and forth is called rows. Okay, so we have finished one row. Now let's go for the next row. So whenever we are going for the next row, we always chain 1 for the height and for the turning. Remember, we need chain 1 for turning, for the extra gap which we need, okay, so that our hook can move nicely. So this is the front side we worked and we came here. Now we are just going to turn our work in this way and we are going to go backward. So and this is back side of the single crochet. Okay, so whenever you're turning clockwise, going, so it is this side, you just flip it like a flipping a page. Okay, just flip it, just turn the page. Okay, that's how you turn your work. Just turn your work in this direction. Okay, now this is the first stitch of this row, because we have turned and we are working in the next row, so this is the first stitch. But when we were at here, this side, then it was the last stitch, but when you turn, it becomes the first. Okay, so now in this first stitch we will do the same thing how we did single crochet, but now we are not going in one loop, but we are going to go in the space which we see here, the space which is created okay, in the single crochet. So we are going to go inside that. So when we go inside, the top 2 loops that are the V of that single crochet is on top of the hook. Okay, so we'll go inside, grab the yarn the same way and pull it through that space. Now we have the 2 loops, grab the yarn, pull through both, and we have created a single crochet on top of a single crochet. Okay, let's do the next. So from now on we always work in the space here which is there, okay, where you get the 2 top loop of the V of a single crochet on top of the hook in this way. Okay, just insert, grab the yarn, pull it through, get the 2 loops, grab the yarn, pull through both the loops. Okay, so this is how we work single crochet for the next row. Okay, we are working in row, so let's work our single crochet till we reach the end. Now here we have reached the end, and this is the last single crochet. You can see here this is the chain, this is the single crochet here, and we have this last V here. Okay, don't forget, because it is slightly gone out of the place and like the rest, but don't miss it. Okay, don't miss it. Just work your last single crochet here. Now, how to know that you have the correct number? You can always count the top loop of the single crochet here and see whether you have your 20 single crochet. So you should have your 20 single crochet for each row. Okay, so now this is the first row and this is the second row. Okay, now we always chain one. Okay, turn our work this side, just like a flipping a page, turning a page. Okay, and then we see here first space here, so in that we work our first single crochet. Okay, so now you can see this is the first row here. Now while counting the rows also, you will see the gaps, tiny gaps, markings and telling you that this is your first row, this is your second row. Okay, so let's work another few rows, as many rows you need for practicing. I'm going to work 10 rows, okay, or maybe 20. So I'm going to put in 15 rows total. So we are on the third row now. Okay, we did first starting row, then second row, and now we are on the third row. So you're going to count in this way, and you're going to put total number of 15 rows. Okay, then meet me back here, and then we'll do the next step. Okay, take your time, do it slowly. Okay, don't hurry yourself, just work very slowly, and I'll be right back here with you. Okay, so here I have finished. Okay, I have 16 rows of single crochet. Now how can you say that you have 16 rows? Okay, so let's count them. Okay, so here is how we're going to count. So this is where our first row is. Okay, first, then second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, okay, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and this is the last 16. Another way you can count is by this. You can see this section here, that counts as 2 rows. This section is made by 2 rows. Okay, so whenever you have this section, see, so this, that means it has 2 rows each. So there is no wrong side and right side. You can say this is a neat side and this is a little unneat side, but both the sides are same. Okay, so this creates 2 section. The section has 2 rows in it. So we have here 2 rows, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, and here is the last section, we have 16. So this is a 16 rows by 20 chain square. Okay, now let's make this square a little more. If you want, you can add edging by putting single crochet all the way around and create edging. But what we are going to do is we are going to keep this as a stitch sampler. So whenever you need any way to go through your work and see how you have done, so you have a sample which you can see. Okay, and it will be a reminder, this is how you were and this is how you started. Okay, so now once you finish your last stitch here, you're going to chain one, the same way we do every time for turning over and starting a new row. But here we are going to finish, so for finishing also chain one, pull it up little bit with the help of the hook, and then we are going to snip this working yarn. Snip. Okay, so now we have cut our yarn and we have the loop here. So with the help of the hook, we are just going to pull it all the way through and it comes out. Okay, and then pull it tight the tail to cinch that stitch and make it tight over here. Okay, so that is how we finished our work. This is the finish line and this is the starting line. So now grab your needle, okay, and we are going to weave in the end, weave in the tails of our work. So feed the yarn to the needle, and now this is here where we finish. It's a front part of the single crochet. Okay, now we are going to turn our work and go at the back of the row of a single crochet. This is the back side. Okay, now we are going to go through the stitches in this way. Okay, this is how we will go, and we will pull the yarn. We are trying to weave in the ends. Don't pull too hard. Okay, and then grab a stitch from where you came out, from this loop you came out with your yarn. Go to the next loop here, closest to it, and go the other side, back towards this side. Okay, so we have done 2 times and now we do another 1 time. So now this is where we came out from the stitch. We leave that, go through other stitch, go through how much you feel you need to go through the stitches here, loops of the stitch. Okay, through and come out. So we did 3 times, and that's how you can keep the tail nice and close and steady. And then just snip the yarn excess, and that's done. So now we have weaved in a tail, and it's nice and firm and it won't come undone. Okay, so this is, we have finished here. Now we have the starting tail. Okay, we are going to do the same. We are going to feed it to the needle, and then we are going to see, this is the front of the stitch here. Okay, and this is the back of the stitch. You can see this humps loops created here. Okay, that shows it is the back. So we go in the stitches Even if you go in the front, no problem, it's totally okay. Just grab the loops of the stitch and try to go as further as you can. Okay, then pull it through. Make sure it's not too tight. Okay, we don't want to lose the shape. Okay, and then go again this side, and then come again the other side. That's the last time. And now we can snip the yarn and done. So here we have finished our single crochet. Okay, we did 20 chain at the start. We went 16 rows up, okay, upward, and we did this square. Okay, now what we are going to do is we are going to measure our work. So the work measures 4.5 inches in wide, and let's see, it is height is 3.5. okay, remember that, or we can measure it again. So now here's what we are going to do. We are going to take a paper, A4 size paper, okay, and we are going to stick our work here. Now I'm going to use the sellotape here. Okay, you can use any ways, you can just punch it. Okay, you can use any way possible to do that. So I'm just going to stick it here. I know many will not agree to me, but this is a very, very nice way for a beginners to keep in track their work. You know, it really helps. Trust me. When I started learning, I started doing this. So this is what I'm sharing, my experience, how it helped me. So I'm leaving little part and this way here down. Okay. So we have taped the work to a page. Okay, so you can say that, you will say we can always put it in the folder. Yeah, right, but now it's very nice and safe, and you can put it now in the folder. So this is what you learned first, so we will write it here. Okay, we'll write crochet lesson. It was single crochet. Okay, the first lesson which we learned is crochet lesson, and this is single crochet. Okay, and then down we are going to write how many chains we did. Chain, we did 20 plus 1 chain for the turning. Okay, then we are going to write how many rows we did. We did 16 rows. Okay, and then how much it measurement, how much it measures, and width, wide it is, we said 4.5 inches, 4.5 inches. Okay, and height it is 3.5 inches. Okay, so now you know when you chain 20, 16 rows, and this is the measurement you get. Okay, now we are going to write the yarn detail, whichever yarn we use. So here we'll write yarn. So it is 3 light weight DK yarn. Okay, and it is acrylic. Okay, do mention which type of yarn you used. Okay, now if you want, you can always write the name of the yarn or the color and all that things, but you know you have used 3 lightweight yarn, so whenever you use it, this is what you get. Okay, and then you're going to write the hook size which you used and which is recommended. If you use a different hook size, you're going to write the hook size used, and recommended is if it is different from what you use. So we use 4.5 mm. Okay, so this is what you're going to write down. So now you can always put it in the folder. Okay, and this will be there forever for you to know, and to anytime you want to go again and find out what you did. Okay, how's the things you did, so you can just look at it and it's perfectly there for you. So this is what we are going to do for each and every crochet lessons. Okay, for each and every stitch. Okay, so this is how I showed you. So you're going to do for each and every lessons you learn and keep it nicely. Okay, so I hope you had fun learning this single crochet, and hope to see you in our next crochet lesson. So till then, take care and bye bye.